tough to spin national perception?
Well, the national perception of the SEC right now might be that the ball is a little deflated on the SEC. To get the PSI exactly where you want it to be, you need to start having some teams separate themselves. Two of them on the court tonight. When you talk about Alabama, Arkansas, LSU, Georgia, Texas A&M, those are all teams right now that can start to make that move, but they got to string together some wins.
I guess as Bill Belichick would say, I have no explanation for what happened to the rest of the SEC, Sean. Contrasting styles here tonight. Alabama leads the SEC in scoring defense, holding opponents to 55 points per conference game. Meanwhile, Arkansas, they love being fast, they love being furious. 82.9 points per game they're scoring offense.
Well, and I really think for Alabama, they are going to look to attack Arkansas early, but then they're going to send guys back. They're going to give up opportunities to get offensive rebounds and second chance points to make sure that they force Arkansas to slow down their offensive attack.
Starting lineup for the Crimson Tide with Levi Randolph, the experienced team leader, team captain, versatile scorer. He always plays a big role, has great understanding of his role this year. He leads the team in points, assists, steals, and minutes played. And for Arkansas, arguably the best big man in the SEC is Bobby Portis. Leads the SEC in scoring at 18.3 per game. Walls is at 16.1, so you got the best scoring duo in league play. Arkansas had a 16-game home win streak snapped this past Saturday with the loss to Ole Miss.
It's a rare home loss, really, when you think of just what Coach Anderson has been able to accomplish with Arkansas inside this building. And for Alabama, they have had their own struggles on the road. They got a road win earlier this year at Tennessee. Now they need to try to get another one.
Here is Harris. As he finds Qualls in the corner, and they start the night right.
A beautiful ball movement deep into the corner. Nice release by Qualls. That's as good as an opening possession as Arkansas could hope for.
Ricky Tarrant now. Andy Cooper, number 21. He's had 3 20-point games this year. See the contrasting styles right away. And they try to go to the inside as that is batted away, as Taylor never got a good handle on it. As Mike Anderson mentioned to us, he feels like they've been just a half step slow on defense. Wants that ratcheted up a bit tonight.
And where that's shown up is allowing dribble penetration, kickouts to higher percentage shots on the outside for opponents.
And Portis draws the foul.
Now, you mentioned Portis being a big, but so good at his versatility, catching the ball off the block, and it's going to be a big problem for Anthony Grant tonight, trying to figure out defensively how they're going to corral him as Portis knocks down the mid-range shot.
Cooper was looking for Kessens.
Extending out with good pressure right now for Arkansas.
Randolph has to deal with that, and now he drives. And Kessens, 16-footer, side rims that.
Arkansas is switching all the ball screens, and it's keeping Alabama away from getting a driving lane to the hole.
And there's that touch of Bobby Portis. And a strong start for the Hogs. Kessens strong to the hole. And that's going to count.
And finally, Alabama gets on the board, but Bobby Portis, back-to-back jump shots. And what I love about his game is the composure that he has out on the perimeter. He has the size. He is going underneath a little bit more, but his jump shot is so pure.
Back rim that time from Harris.
There's something about Alabama, too, that Bobby Portis likes.
Randolph. It wouldn't drop for him, and the rebound goes to Rashad Madden. And The whistle as Madden was crossing over, and that'll be on Randolph, his first.
The home scoring average for Arkansas, better than 84 points per game over the last 3 seasons. They are physical, they attack, and they win a lot of games here in this building. I think that was the bigger shock, that they lost to Ole Miss on this floor.
Taylor brings that rebound down, averaging 87.1 points per game at home this season. Only 2 times were they held below 80.
Dribble handoff action, trying to create an opportunity, slip the screen, and get into the paint.
Kesson's tried to make an opportunity, and now pushing it up to Qualls. And his spin move won't go, but good, steady work on the boards. As Kessons is still down and grasping at his left knee.
This game has started about as poorly as it possibly could for Alabama. Their offense, everything's from the perimeter. Defensively, Arkansas has been able to create the tempo opportunities that they want at the offensive end of the floor, and now you've got Kessons down.
Here's what happened to Michael Kessons.
See on the drive, and his knee goes down.
Now then he also had Taylor's weight. Taylor's a big guy at 6'10", 240, coming down over the top of him awkwardly.
I think it was his kneecap, though, that hit the
initial
floor.
Contact.
The initial contact when it hit the floor off the jump. And you see his size at 6'9". They need his size.
He is their leading rebounder. Transferred in from Longwood. And he can be a threat in the low post as an offensive option as well. So that's a significant loss for the time being for Alabama.
And he has 2 double-doubles on the season. One against App State and the other one against North Florida. And he's you mentioned, transferred in from Longwood, where he was the Big South Freshman of the Year. So sat out all of last season, looking to assert himself as the interior presence, and he has been that guy for Anthony Graham.
Riley Norris checks in for the Tide, the 3-point shooter. He skip passes over to Tarrant, who gets it into the post to Taylor, and he will go to the line.
That skip pass is going to be important for Alabama, because that's how you can shift and rotate the defense quick. And Tarrant, a very nice job passing the ball underneath to Taylor.
First on Alondas Harris.
We mentioned the tempo and the flow of this game, how important it is, and I think that the bigger mark than just even the offensive tempo for Alabama is the ability to get back in defense and force Arkansas to work the shot clock a little bit. Arkansas wants to get their looks up in the first 15 seconds of the shot clock. So far, all 7 shot attempts have been prior to that 15-second mark.
Let's watch for it here. Bell, 15-footer. And gets the bounce.
And it's just too easy. Pass the ball in the corner, flatten the defense out. 10 seconds into the shot clock, go ahead, elevate, and knock down a jump shot. This Arkansas team has all the talent in the world to finish second in the SEC this year. And now is the time in conference play, as we talked about in the open. We had a little fun with the old deflate gate.
A little bit of fun.
Yeah, a little bit of fun. But
creative juices of Sean Farnham.
But the reality is teams need to start separating themselves in this conference. And Arkansas is one of those teams that can string together a couple of wins, put itself back in the top 25 nationally, and assert itself as a team that can win some games in the NCAA tournament.
Bell again, this time it rims out. Well, you've said for a couple weeks to me now that you feel that the depth of the competition throughout is a step up this year. There just needs to be some separation. Watch out for this. Boy, can Qualls get up after it. This is a guy that has made the Sports Center top 10 9 times during his Arkansas career. Well, and here's a glimpse why, Sean.
As Bill Belichick would say, Michael Qualls can jump. And that's all I know about that.
We need an official act of parliament.
Send in the troops.
The British are coming! Fire!
Sure you wrote it big enough?
Old King George should be able to see that.
Tessitore, Sean Farnham back here in Fayetteville. Good start for Arkansas. 10-point margin on top of Alabama.
Well, everything right now, Alabama out to the 10-point lead. Arkansas out to the 10-point lead. Alabama struggling right now to find any rhythm or flow at both ends of the floor. And you expected an Arkansas team to be extremely hungry. Coach Anderson told us before the start of the game, that they were going to have to be challenged. He checked the mindset of his team. So far, the mindset of the Razorbacks is just fine.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lexus. The first ever Lexus NX Turbo. Go beyond utility. And Wendy's, proud sponsor of the 2015 John R. Wooden Men's Player of the Year Award.
What makes it an SUV is what you can get into it. What makes it an NX is what you can get out of it. Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Your mom's got your back. Your friends have your back. Your dog's definitely got your back. But who's got your back when you need legal help? We do. We're LegalZoom. And over the last 10 years, we've helped millions of people protect their families and run their businesses. We have the right people on hand to answer your questions, backed by a trusted network of attorneys. So visit us today for legal help you can count on. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Number 1 Kentucky, South Carolina, Saturday at noon on ESPN.
Portis and Qualls, the best scoring duo in the SEC, and they've already contributed 11 of the 13 points tonight for Arkansas.
You see Martin and Mickey, who I had just on Tuesday night as they got the big road win at Florida, snapping their home winning streak. Portis and Qualls right behind their heels as far as scoring duos inside this conference, and they've gotten off to a great start this evening at home. Looking to bounce back. Really, it's a bounce-back game for both Alabama and Arkansas. And the numbers, you see 5 of 6 field goals, overall 11 points. The rest of the team 1 for 4 and just 2 points. But their ability to create offense is so key to give confidence to the remainder of the team. I mean, when they get going offensively, all of a sudden you start to see the pressure come off the shoulders of guys like Harris, who they really need to get going, who's been struggling ever since that Georgia game. Just shooting just 20% since that game. For Alabama
Look
right
at them
now,
extend here against Cooper.
Alabama's got to have some poise and composure and get something going towards the basket.
Tarrant. Here's Randolph, gives it back to Tarrant. And they're going to get the call down low. Three-second call, and Arkansas back to business. Madden on the drive. And Portis really hit the deck hard there, going for that rebound.
Portis down, look to attack, try to get something easy without their defense getting set up to pressure.
As Cooper does, and takes advantage of that.
Rodney Cooper has been the one player that has really played well against Alabama. Coach Anderson told us earlier today Now Cooper for Alabama has been the guy that has given them some trouble.
Taylor was jammed up that time trying to stay with Bobby Portis. That's his second.
The last possession, Portis trying to wedge his way in on the weak side. His feet just come out underneath him, took a hard fall.
Williams can't get it to go. And Kessen's back in the game with the rebound. He went down hard earlier and landed right on his knee. Shot fake, Norris now. A tap in from Kessens will not drop as well. Ja'Cory Williams now leaves it for Qualls. Hello! That is 9 points to start this night for the high-flying Qualls.
The offense ignites them. The energy level and focus bleeds over to the defensive side of the floor.
2 big dunks will get this home crowd going.
And Cooper, once again, you see why Coach Anderson brought him up. It's 2 field goals now in the last minute plus that he's been able to drive and attack and get something in positive fashion. Sometimes the best way to attack pressure is applying pressure.
Baseline jumper by Portis. Couldn't connect. A long rebound, Williams, and they will reset here. Qualls swings it around. Durham. And that goes into the hands of Kessens. Cooper. What a difference.
He's a one-man scoring machine right now for Alabama.
7 points for Rodney Cooper. Lead is cut to 5. Good pass on the inside. And Portis fighting for it. And the loose ball into the hands of Norris, who pushes ahead as Alabama has numbers now. Cooper again. Could he? Why not? What a stretch for Rodney Cooper. And Alabama has pulled within 2 as Mike Anderson uses a timeout.
Cooper just continues to carry the team right now for the tie. They needed somebody to lift them up. They needed somebody with a sense of urgency and understanding that if you settle it down, if you're aggressive, get yourself into a rhythm, that you can find ways to score in transition again, off the loose ball. Good floor spacing. Instead of closing up and keeping that passing lane tight, you space on out to the three-point line and you knock down the perimeter shot. 10 points right now for Cooper. And it's a 2-point game.
Remind you that ESPN's Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. That's Kentucky and South Carolina at noon. And then Florida State and North Carolina at 2 Eastern.
It has been a 10-2 run right now in this game for Alabama, and all of it pretty much coming off the fingertips of Rodney Cooper. You mentioned those games coming up over the weekend. How about South Carolina and Kentucky? They have the #1 and #2 ranked field goal percentage defenses in all of the SEC.
And you've been talking about how South Carolina has been so close, been knocking on the door. Beard couldn't connect that time, but Kingsley comes down with it. Fighting for the ball on the ground is Beard. Game got real interesting as Cooper hit the threes and Qualls provided plenty of entertainment. More to come from Fayetteville. Just a 2-point margin now.
What makes it an SUV is what you can get into it. What makes it an NX is what you can get out of it. Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Right now at Burger King, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. No, wait, is that really right?
Yep, it says it right there. $1.49, 10 nuggets, limited time only.
All right. They're crispy and golden on the outside, made with premium white meat on the inside. Get more your way, only at Burger King.
Schick Extreme 3. 3 flexible blades that uniquely adapt to any contour for extreme comfort for every possible angle. Schick Extreme 3. Free your skin.
There are no accidental champions. You can't hope your way to victory. And titles aren't won at the end of the season. They're won in the off-season. Northwestern Mutual Financial Advisors know that when you have a game plan and the discipline to work for it every day, you cannot lose. You will not lose. Start your financial planning with Northwestern Mutual and start your financial success. You and Northwestern Mutual. Stronger together.
Sean here at Bud Walton Arena as Alabama head coach Anthony Grant gets his squad set. Said to us earlier when there was so much talk this week of the matchup of the Arkansas tempo against their style, Sean said, hey, listen, we aren't afraid of running up and down the floor. We feel we can win in different ways. Past a couple minutes served them well in that one.
Well, they started pushing and creating and not allowing the pressure to disrupt them. When you initiate your offense and you're so far away from beyond the three-point line, all of a sudden your spacing gets changed. And when spacing gets changed, timing gets changed, and the quality of shot starts to get a little bit more difficult. Alabama's done a nice job adjusting here, and that's why they've been able to put themselves in the situation they're in. And here's what Anthony Grant has been able to accomplish at Alabama, the NCAA tournament, second round back in 2012. NIT finalist in 2011. Expectations, though, is this team needs to win some games, and they had a pretty good non-conference. They let one slip away that they should have won at Wichita State, and I think that would have changed the national perception a great deal about the Crimson Tide.
Norris. And here come the Hogs again.
Yeah, the alley-oop on the backside for Williams. He was calling for it. No one saw him. The back line of Alabama's defense right now is too focused on the basketball. They're going to give up something behind that back line if they're not careful.
Williams been floating back there with opportunity waiting. It's a longer possession than what we're used to for Arkansas here. Beard gives it a second chance for Arkansas, and it works out that way.
No hesitation whatsoever. The ball hits your hands. Just go ahead and get it back up.
Some pressure here as Alabama's Ricky Tarrant gives way to Justin Coleman. Coleman splitting defenders and losing the ball into the hands of Williams, who pushes ahead to Beard. Back to Beard. And he draws the foul.
Arkansas on the previous possession. Long rebound. Ball hits the hands on the tip out. No fear whatsoever. You play with great freedom when you're at Arkansas. Mike Anderson wants his guys to believe that they can step in and knock down the shot. Beard able to do it on that possession, and now earns the trip to the free throw line. And this young man was the #1 prospect in the state of Arkansas last year. 90th overall in the ESPN Top 100. Has done a good job managing the game. Only 3 turnovers in the last 5. He's a guy that they think really is going to be able to run the show as his career progresses and gains more confidence in his offensive game. You saw the way he stepped into that shot test.
Well, with that, as Levi Randolph heads to the Bama bench with 2 fouls. Cougars have the hot hand. They work it around now. Back to Tarrant. Baseline cut and in. That was good work of Kessens finding Norris.
Test, when you have pressure on you, you got a back door. You got to cut and move without the ball. It's spacing. It's kind of like you when you were walking through the national championship crowds down in Dallas. You had to back cut the pressure to avoid all your fans here in the SEC and SEC Nation. But a good job that time slipping around the back door. And when the defense gets on the high side, you get your hips lower and behind them, you're going to get the lane to the hoop.
I think you're mistaking those fans for Tebow groupies.
I thought they were there for you.
No, sir.
My bad.
3-point margin now.
Some people say they're there for Paul Feinbaum.
No comment. You don't stand so close to Feinbaum when you're at sites like that, Farnham. Tarrant went for the ball. And now Durham gets a look right down the lane.
I didn't know what he was hesitating for. There's nobody standing in front of him. Just go.
Far too easy, right? Makes you think for a moment. Here's Tarrant now, driving on his own, picked up his dribble. Shannon Hale inside the Kessins. And the whistle came in as they collapsed.
You recognize the mismatch. You go show a great target hand, throw up over the top, and Kessins had the inside position. They switched off, and Beard was on him, and there's no chance he can defend that pass in.
Freshman 6-foot Beard caught up with the big man. Good to see Kessins back in there. Back down to him, but he couldn't finish that time.
His base was way too narrow. He fell off balance.
Yeah, he had an awkward position as he was trying to go up for that.
Alabama's starting to dictate the tempo of this game, though. It has completely changed. The shot clock is now past that 15-second mark that has been so successful for Arkansas.
Good strip by Coleman. Here's Hale, and he will head to the line.
So often you think about dictating tempo through your offense, but this has been an example over the last couple of minutes where Alabama has started to be able to dictate the tempo based on their defense. Getting back, forcing Arkansas to play side to side, not giving them the lanes that they were having earlier in this game.
All SEC freshman team a year ago was Shannon Hale.
I think to a certain extent, his offseason foot surgery kind of affected him a little bit, slowed down his progress, but right about now, he's got to pick up the pace. For Alabama to make a run in the SEC and win consecutive games, he's got to be much more consistent in his totals.
Kingsley flashed right there and then lost control of the ball, and Coleman brings it back out for the Tide. Tarrant wide open, but it won't go. Portis gets the rebound.
If you're Arkansas, push the ball up the floor. Attack, be aggressive. Back-to-back possessions, they've turned the ball over.
Tell gets it into Portis. That 14-footer wouldn't drop for the big man. Kingsley, rebound. Right hand won't go for him. And here comes the Tide.
That's 3 possessions in a row that they have held Arkansas to shots past that 15-second mark.
Cooper's good first half continues, and Arkansas's lead is down to 1.
Good. He has 12 of their 20.
He has been something. Qualls, three-pointer. Kingsley taps it out to Madden. And he got Kessins to go up hard that time and come down. Alabama's back in this thing. The Farnham File's going to open up next in a unique statistical analysis on Arkansas head coach Mike Anderson. I look forward to the Farnham File issue.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Right now at Fridays, get an entree and an adult beverage together under 550 calories. Dine and drink, just $10. See, you can keep that resolution. Happy Friday.
Yeah, that's a nice one, but this one takes it to a whole new level. This bad boy will change your life.
You know what? This orange money isn't for Awesome Grills. It's going towards my awesome retirement. I'll stick with this one.
How much orange money will you need in retirement? Find out now at Voya.com.
Hey, guess what day it is?
Hump day!
Hump day! It's hump day!
Yeah.
Hey, Mike! Mike!
Mike!
Guess what day it is? Hey, Camel! Guess what day it is?
It's not even Wednesday. Let it go, Phil.
If you're a camel, you put up with this all the time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Okay.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
I used to be just like you until they put something inside me that will allow me to use 100% of my brain.
That's amazing. We humans only use 10% of our brain. You can unlock secrets that go beyond our universe.
What happens when she reaches 100%?
I have no idea.
Lucy, now playing on DirecTV Cinema. Movies start at channel 125.
Arkansas with a 1-point lead, and this week in the Farnafile, you talk about home cooking. Arkansas has been lights out under Mike Anderson at home, shooting better than 46% from the field. They do an excellent job getting on the offensive glass, second chance putbacks. They're as good as the dinner was last night at Leo's. Good spot here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Average better than 82 points. Of course, that one was against Kentucky a year ago, one of the most memorable finishes of the college basketball season. So memorable that the ball that was tossed into the rafters is still laying up there. They're not taking it down.
I love it. It's propped up right under the center scoreboard. You know, over the last 3 seasons, Arkansas has averaged 18 more points per game at home than in road games. There are the numbers. Look at the splits there. As you mentioned, comparison under Coach Anderson. The offense all of a sudden struggling here in this game. They made 6 of their first 10. They led 13-3, and since then, 3 of 13.
And Alabama, meanwhile, is 6 of 10 shooting after starting off just 1 for 5. So the game has completely tilted, and where it has tilted has been at this end of the floor. Arkansas is no longer getting those easy looks in transition, getting up into the rim and igniting the energy in this crowd. This building has become a little flat, and Alabama's play has been elevated.
Especially Rodney Cooper, 5 of 6, 2 threes. He's made 5 of their 7 field goals. And that was a pretty ugly trip to the line right there.
Look out. That was an ill-advised pass, to say the least.
5 turnovers for Bama.
You see the pass the other night in the Cavs game to Coach Black?
I missed that.
Good ball reversal action, and then he just hit the coach on the sideline.
That doesn't work out so well.
Coach Blatt has had a difficult season. He doesn't need the opposing players throwing balls at him.
Walls, shot fake, baseline, and boy, can he get up. As he just gets the finger roll, and he has 11 of their 23. He elevates and floats right towards that rim. By Randolph now. Sahan couldn't get it to go. Qualls, the 3 ball. Shorts that.
Alabama's patience in the half court is fine as long as they can get a high quality look off of it. If you get late into the shot clock and you're rushing, that's when it can work against you.
Here's Hale. As Cooper had led him in the right direction. Madden, and he was fouled. He'll be shooting 3. We remind you that tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, you can get the NBA showdown of the Bulls and the Mavs. It's also available on Watch ESPN. Derrick Rose speaking up about the recent frustrations of the Skid.
Well, they lost 6 of 8, and Joakim Noah practiced on Wednesday. Not going to play tonight against San Antonio, as reported by Nick Friedel of ESPN Chicago, but he could return on Friday possibly. And if he does, they could utilize him, because you think about Tyson Chandler over the last 10 games, averaging 10 and 13 per game, shooting better than 66% from the floor, and Rondo's made a big difference in their offense.
Rashad Madden had a nice night against Ole Miss last time out. You see the season high 22.
And they needed that because he was in a slump. He was just shooting 23% from the floor to start conference play in the first 3 games, averaging just under 5 points per contest. And he's a guy that could really ignite the offense. We talk about Portis, we talk about Qualls. Madden has got to be that third scorer for the Razorbacks.
Matchup with Qualls. Shot clock down to 2 with Norris.
That's a bad possession for Alabama.
Sure was.
You took time off the clock, but at the end of the day, you got a poor quality shot.
Long rebound into the hands of Jimmy Taylor. Tarrant's going to take it hard there, and there was contact as he was driving into the lane, as he ran right into Bell.
You have to take opportunities when you have them if you're Alabama. When you get a long rebound off of a quick shot, you usually have a numbers situation. They did. Defense still moving their feet, able to pick up the foul. And the pace of this game has really gone to a snail's pace.
Sure has.
All those commercials about the tortoise and the hare. Greenberg and Golick, Mike and Mike.
That's how we framed this earlier tonight.
It was the hare early, now it's the tortoise. You're thinking about Alabama down just 5, and they haven't made a field goal in over 3 minutes.
Taylor, and the finish.
Well, that ends that. They have a field goal now. That was great spacing. Good job flattening out the defense, getting the ball into the corner, and then Taylor pinning and sealing underneath. As the dribble action goes away, they bring the double team, and then just a nice job settling right into the middle of the paint, having his hands ready and able to finish. Bell couldn't do anything else but foul. In fact, Bell would have been better served not fouling in that situation and just giving up the 2.
Yeah, that was hopeless at that point. So the conventional 3-point play for Jimmy Taylor. Portis. Back to Portis. Baseline this time, he will pull the trigger.
Look how much harder though Arkansas is having to work in their half-court offense.
It was knocked away that time by Williams. 25-23. Arkansas has slowed down a bit here.
The best part about going to Walt Disney World just might be staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel. From royal encounters to royal rooms. And pirates to paradise. The magic never has to stop. And now you can save up to 30% off a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room. Book your stay now and discover how close the magic can be.
We have a breakthrough. New Subway grilled chicken strips. They taste better and they are better. Premium cut all white meat with no artificial preservatives or flavors. Try our new grilled chicken strips in the new Monterey Chicken Melt today. Subway, eat fresh.
Miller invented light beer, and that changed everything. Great taste deserved great packaging, which led to new packaging, improved packaging, and ultimately, too many improvements, which led us back to our original look. Miller Lite. We invented light beer. You're welcome.
It can be difficult for people to hear that their planet is not the only inhabited planet.
You say you're an alien?
Yes, I'm a lycanthrope bred for the military.
Your Earth is a very small part of a very large industry.
I want her found, and I want her dead.
Why is this happening to me?
You are royalty.
Here we go.
Jupiter Ascending, February 6th. Experience it in IMAX 3D. Rated PG-13.
Welcome to X Games Aspen. Hey, Mom.
Joe and Sean back here at Bud Walton Arena. 25-23 Arkansas lead. Reminder, the Land Rover halftime report is coming up. Coach Cal's wired, and we will get set for a Maryland-Indiana game. Good matchup in the Big Ten. Maryland 5-1 in conference play. Indiana 4-1. Of course, Alabama found out plenty about Kentucky this past weekend. They held them to 48 points. It's the lowest total Bama has scored at home since 2003, Sean.
I'll tell you what, you look at Maryland versus Indiana. Melo Trimble, outstanding young freshman, playing so well for Mark Turgeon's team. But I think Jake Layman doesn't get enough credit for his play. He just, every single night, he fills up the box score, points, rebounds, assists. And when Des Wells was out, he was the guy that really carried the load for the Terps.
That game is 9 o'clock on ESPNU. And Madden comes up with the steal.
Just a bit high.
A little too much looking for Michael Qualls.
The idea, by the way, is to throw it closer to the rim. I mean,
right. He'll go get that.
Qualls can dunk, but it's pretty tough when the pass is 5 feet behind you and 10 feet up.
Norris picked up his dribble and put himself in a much compromised position.
Cannot play timid against pressure.
Not at all.
If you play scared, if you play hesitant against pressure, it's going to eat you up.
You know, we talked about where this Alabama team is with Anthony Grant. He told us earlier, said, listen, you're always fragile when you lose, but we have to stop hurting ourselves. He said at times over the course of the past week, and in some of these games that have gone south, we're making it harder than it really needs to be.
Well, and they've controlled this game, but that was an example right there of what you're talking about, just making things more difficult. But Alabama has been able to dictate the tempo and the flow overall for a majority of this first half.
Journey to the Tourney presented by Sonic. Saturday at noon on ESPN. #1 Kentucky looking to stay perfect. They take on South Carolina. Got to win over Iowa State. They do.
How about Kentucky versus Vanderbilt? 19
Aaron
combined
Harrison.
blocks or steals. The Commodores only made 22 field goals in the game, and that was a tight one all the way throughout. So it gives hope for South Carolina in their building to dictate the flow of that game. It has to be a defensive game. They have to be team rebounding philosophies with Frank Martin.
Cooper rattles it in. And here is Alabama all of a sudden with a 1-point lead under 3 minutes to go in this half.
And Bud Walton gets a little restless.
This is a tremendous effort from Cooper here in this first half. Madden got tied up and then tried to fight for more, and he did, and earned the whistle.
Well, Arkansas in this game, when they have pushed and create tempo, they've been great. The 7 times where they haven't shot in the first 15 seconds, just 2 of 6 overall from the field. And Alabama's done a majority of that, by the way, in the latter stages of this first half. I think Anthony Grant's going to be extremely pleased right now that this game is knotted up at 26, especially after the way this thing started. They trailed by 10 real quick.
Then the last 10 minutes have been more on their terms. As Madden gives the Hogs the lead back.
They're going to call a foul on Qualls, and that's going to send Alabama to the free throw line.
So it'll be shooting. So Ricky Tarrant will be at the line.
Tarrant, the transfer from Tulane, all CUSA as a sophomore. Last season when he sat out, he was named Academic SEC Honor Roll. A season high of 24 versus UCLA in that nice win at home right before the start of conference play.
That was in late December.
You think getting to the free throw line is important for him? 5-0 as the Crimson Tide when he's attempted 8 or more free throws in a game.
Makes sense. He's working to earn it, getting to the stripe, being active in the offense.
It's a certain level of aggressiveness and a mindset that he needs to have.
Madden for 3. And the Hogs retake the lead. He has 7. Pressure now.
You know,
and a turnover.
And I'm just going to be honest with you. That starts with Riley Norris. Norris didn't want to take the ball out of bounds. He was looking for Cooper to come back and take the ball out of bounds. He took it out of bounds. The spacing was incorrect, and he's been the one guy that has really been bothered by the pressure.
7 turnovers now. Oh, how about that? Come on now, Farnham. Sports Center top 10, number 10 in his career. Lock it up, Farnham. Climb the ladder, why don't you?
Woo! There you go, Tess. That's our first lock it up of the year, partner.
We lock it up.
I'll wait for the replay to go crazy. We might get another one.
Portis stripped away by Terrence. And Kessens was in the right place to secure it. I mean, that was something from Qualls.
That was Blake Griffin-esque. And to do it off the offensive rebound. And if you see how far he had to run to get there, he was on the strong side and ran all the way over to the weak side to put himself in that position.
Absolutely incredible display of athleticism by Michael Qualls. This place was falling asleep as Bama had taken down the pace and taken the lead, and all of a sudden Arkansas, life again, a 4-point margin.
Oh, good. They fouled. Let's show it.
Yeah, let's show it often.
This is how you get into the top 10, folks. Up over the top, an elite athlete that can elevate as well as anybody. He comes all the way from the strong side to the weak side to get it down. He is fun to watch.
Coming all the way around was Michael Qualls. We told you coming into tonight, this is a guy that had made the Sports Center top 10 an incredible 9 times during his Arkansas career. Number 10 was as good as any of them.
Yeah, he's had those powerful dunks. The tip dunk last year against Kentucky, that one brought the house down. The way he anticipated the miss and knew where his teammate was going to miss it. And that comes from recognition at practice. Phenomenal athlete, but a very smart play by Qualls.
Corey Williams pushes the lead to 6. Hale, strong, aggressive move, just what they needed.
Alabama needed that to kind of quiet down the crowd and not give too much momentum to Arkansas going to the break.
Double Qualls, he rotates to Madden. Williams.
Yeah, one shot here if you're Alabama. You pull it back out and just get one shot. You do not want to give the ball back to Arkansas here in the first half.
Closest thing to 2 or 1 here. And they're smiling wide going into the half. Coleman
way too
had
early.
No chance against Portis.
Well, they're lucky they got bailed out there because that was a poor shot with too much time left to go on the clock. That would have been a run out in transition for Arkansas. Coleman has to be smarter.
Seconds here, Cooper.
And a push off for Alabama and a foul now against Cooper. And 2.4 seconds, not a lot, especially with Alabama showing. I'd look for Bobby Portis to flash from the midcourt line.
Madden's just going to chuck it. Oh, and it almost went. But they're going to be buzzing about Michael Qualls. A 4-point lead for Arkansas, and this ultimate highlight.
An outstanding effort in the first half overall. The Hogs 11-0 when they've gone in leading at the break, and Michael Qualls dropping it in.
Take a short break, and then it's time for the Land Rover halftime report. Yes, that's exactly where that's going to end up as you are watching the SEC on ESPN, and we deliver the hashtag SC Top 10. Michael Qualls is about to inbound here, get our second half underway. Told you Alabama leads the SEC in scoring defense. And Arkansas's fast and furious pace early on got them in front, but then it really settled in to a pace that favored the Tide for much of the first half, and thus just the 4-point margin we start with here.
And one guy that desperately Alabama needs to step up here in the second half is Levi Randolph. He's been their leader all season long, their most consistent scorer. Only one shot attempt in the first half. They've got to find a way to not just have a one-man show in Cooper.
Taylor left hand won't go. Qualls rebounds. Cooper has been that one-man show. 15 points on 6 of 8 from the floor.
Tempo and the pacing here. Again, Alabama able to slow down Arkansas.
Shot clock was down to 9. It's very un-Arkansas. Qualls from the corner now. And Taylor pulls it in. Here's Cooper. That's the hot hand for Bama.
Switching all ball screens. Sometimes you can get a mismatch. I would rather seen Kesson's dive to the paint and utilize the mismatch to get a free look. Instead, they turn it over.
Levi Randolph struggling to get involved as he was trying to get a hold of that. That's 10 turnovers now.
But see, the problem, though, is you have Kesson's so far away from the basket, 6'9",
right.
Trying to be a distributor up top. When he's got a guarding him, get down to the block.
Baseline jumper goes for Bell.
Alabama can ill afford to start the second half like they did the first half.
Tried to get it to Kessons in the post, and they're going to call this the other way. He was clearing some space that time. And for Kessons, that's his third.
Think about Alabama. They've had some close losses this year. They had a lot of close losses a year ago. 10 of the Tide's losses last year came from 8 or fewer points.
They'll not Bashville side rim, but Portis there for the rebound. The whistle came in as he was securing that ball.
And they struggled on the road.
They had that long road losing streak, and then they won at Tennessee to ease that pain.
And for Alabama to be a team that finishes in the top half of the SEC this year, they're going to have to win games on the road. And to get in the NCAA tournament, you need to get some signature wins on the road, and that's exactly what a win here at Bud Walton Arena would be. Good double team in the corner.
Madden couldn't get the roll that time. March 2012, the last NCAA appearance for Alabama. As Tarrant draws the foul.
We allude to the success at home versus what happens on the road, and the biggest differential, Arkansas, since the 2011-2012, Arkansas leads the nation, and Alabama's right there at 3. Texas A&M, not pictured, also just below on the list. It's difficult to win on the road in conference play, in any conference. That's why when Arkansas took the loss at Tennessee, it wasn't the sky is falling. I was more shocked by the loss here at home.
20 more points per 100 possessions at home than in true road games over the last 3 years does Arkansas.
And a lot of that is because here they feed off the energy of the crowd. They're a little bit more physical. They're more aggressive. They play with that edge here at home, and sometimes that edge isn't there when they travel away.
Turnover that time. Tarrant, three-pointer. And it drops in for him. Friendly roll. Now Qualls pushes it.
Now see, that's a good, high-quality, little quick shot by Tarrant.
That time he was denied, but drew the foul as he went up and challenged Jimmy Taylor. There's 3 on Taylor.
Qualls struggled in both games last season against Alabama, just 1 of 8 shooting combined between those 2 games. Clearly much better tonight. An elite finisher around the rim. 6 20-point games. And he's on his way to potentially having another 20-point game tonight.
A lot of folks around the program talk about how much more he's matured as a far more vocal leader this year.
And you see the differential, just 1 over the previous 55 games versus the 9 that he's had.
Six misses from the stripe for Arkansas tonight. Tarrant, 16-foot fadeaway. Portis secures it.
Portis really hasn't been a large factor at the offensive end of the floor, but he's done a nice job getting on the glass.
Bell. Back rim. Harris. Rebound. And now on the drive, Madden.
And that's just, you know, we saw Madden take a three-point shot that was kind of like, I'm going to settle for a shot. That time he forced a shot. So he's not really in a great rhythm or flow, even coming off that great game that he had. You know, when you're forcing things offensively, that's when you make mistakes.
Offensive. 7 turnovers now.
We showed you the numbers. Arkansas averaging better than 80 points per game at home. It's going to be awfully difficult for them to get there right now. Pacing of this game being played at where Alabama wants it to be.
There's that pressure that Norris has struggled with on a few possessions earlier tonight. This time he does get it ahead to Cooper. And Cooper takes it up and had to force that right hand to go wide against Portis. But Tarrant, another opportunity. Front rims that. Madden now on the run with numbers. And he had options, but didn't take them.
Tarrant forced the look at the offensive end of the floor. It wasn't a bad look, but he didn't go back and get his rebound. If he takes one step in and follows the shot, he's going to get the rebound. That's how focused they are getting back in defensive transition. They make a great play at this end as Madden continues to force his game. And that's why Madden's going to the bench.
With 2 fouls.
You foul, you're forcing shots, you're not getting high percentage looks. Think about it for a second. Arkansas, a nice job in the press. Alabama struggling to score.
Picks up his dribble that time, and then Tarrant saves him. And now Tarrant weaving his way through the lane. And Alabama's up by 1.
Look at Qualls in the corner. He turned down the 3. I think he should have just shot the 3-point shot.
Beard. And in the midst of a 7-0 run here. How about it? Walls hauls it in. Cooper was eyeing it. Oh, and he got taken down hard that time by Taylor.
They're going to have to look at that one.
Boy, watch his legs go out from under him as the top half took the contact. That was a hard foul.
A 1-point game, Alabama in the lead, and Qualls coming down the lane. And a little bit of a clothesline up top. The officials will take a look at it, and we'll take a timeout.
Bulls Mavericks, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
Right now at Burger King, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. No, wait, is that really right?
Yep, it says it right there. $1.49, 10 nuggets, limited time only.
All right. They're crispy and golden on the outside, made with premium white meat on the inside. Get more your way, only at Burger King.
With rollover data, the data you don't use this month rolls over to the next month.
And I don't have to do anything.
Not a thing. Mobile Share Value customers get it automatically. It's how we show appreciation.
You know, I really appreciate that you appreciate me as a customer.
And we appreciate how much you appreciate us appreciating our customers.
And I appreciate that you appreciate that.
And I appreciate you appreciating that.
I appreciate that.
Introducing AT&T Rollover Data. The data you don't use this month rolls over to the next month. All on the network with the nation's strongest LTE signal.
You can find a new frontier. There's nothing stopping you. And a lot helping you. Technology that's with you always. This is our promise. It's never been better to wander. Because wherever you go, you'll find us. Doing everything we can. So you can.
Guys, you know they got six-packs in the aisles now. Save tons of money.
Save big on 6-packs of 5-Hour Energy.
So, you say men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Then how'd I get this?
Safe driving bonus check. Every 6 months without an accident, Allstate sends a check. Okay. Silence. Are you in good hands?
Doug Sermon's one of our SEC officials working this game tonight, having a quick conversation with Sean Farnham as they said that action by Jimmy Taylor. Oh, backhand kind of clothesline. They ruled no flagrant foul here. It'll be shooting 2 at the line.
And what they saw was the reach in for the ball, the attempt to go for the ball. And it just was an awkward foul more than anything else deemed by this officiating crew.
You know what was really awkward is watch his legs here after the contact, that back leg and then the arching back of the upper body. So it gave a much worse appearance than it was in reality to hit with that left hand. So Qualls at the line.
A good job by the crew, though, to go back and look at it. They wanted to make sure nothing excessive, no contact made above the shoulders, and there wasn't. Arkansas struggling at the offensive end of the floor. 1 for 9 from the field so far in the second half. The thing about Alabama, though, is they haven't been much better. They're just 2 of 7. So they should have been able to capitalize on this more, and they have been unable to do so.
By Randolph. Still searching to find some flow offensively here. Coleman. He hits the bottom of the net. And once again, Alabama retakes the lead.
A nice step back by Coleman. Just 22% on the season from beyond the arc.
Portis, the tip in.
Now he's working on another double-double. He's had 3 straight double-doubles, 5 out of the last 7. But he has not asserted himself yet offensively. He had 35 last year against Alabama.
It was an extraordinary game he had against the Tide. In fact, at one point, he had 17 straight points for the Hogs. had 29 of their first 35 in that outing. And now he's feeling it.
He's got a little flavor to his
Justin
game right now.
Coleman. Quick 6 for him. 3-point lead for Alabama. Qualls. A little bit of everything tonight from Michael Qualls.
You know, every time Arkansas need to energize their fan base, it's been Qualls, the player to get it accomplished.
18 points.
I get the ball back in Coleman's hands right now. He'll set a screen. Let him try to rock them to sleep and see if he can knock down another 3-point shot.
Half of his made shots on this season are 3-pointers. Norris. And he goes baseline and finds Randolph, who will head to the line.
And a beautiful shot fake to elevate Qualls and then draw the foul. While Alabama's been able to execute, they took the lead, and then it was Qualls with the answer on the opposite side. Look at the great ball reversal deep into the corner. You're making the defense rotate and shift. And Qualls knocks it down from the deep corner.
Levi Randolph, his first points of the night. 13-18 remaining in the game. And Randolph hits the stat sheet.
This is a player that's averaging 15 points per game. And so they need to get him involved offensively. And a nice job recognizing on that possession to utilize the shot fake and get to the free throw line. And sometimes you get to the free throw line, you knock down a pair, all of a sudden your offensive flow gets a little bit better.
Danny Watkins and Nick Babb seeing some action here on the court. This is Nick Babb, younger brother of Chris, former Iowa State star. Kingsley, 17-foot shot will go down for Moses Kingsley, the 6'10" sophomore from Nigeria. All tied at 45.
We thought this one was going to be tight, and it has lived up to it so far. Didn't look that way early. Notice the difference in the body language of Alabama here in the second half. How much more confident they are at attacking the pressure.
It's like tapped away from Kingsley.
It's like one of those fighters on Friday Night Fights that you do, partner.
They don't all have confidence when they step through the ropes. Bama's showing lots of it, as is Coleman. Kessens was trying to fight for it as he extends himself, and now here comes Babb pushing it. And through the lane, hop step was Beard, but the whistle came in. Consider the Arkansas that we've seen for most of the season, and a season average of 82.9. Tonight, 45 points here with 12 minutes remaining.
But not necessarily a big surprise when you see how well Alabama has been playing at the defensive end of the floor, in particular in SEC play. They're holding opponents to just 55 points per game. That's the best in the conference, and that's after giving up 70 to Kentucky.
You have to just erase those Kentucky games from your memory when you're in this league, don't you? Ooh. Beard tried to clean it up. Back to Harris. And now Beard puts it down. 3-point shot for Anton Beard. Tarrant looked like he was tied up for a moment there. No whistle, but the turnover helps Bama. And Coleman will get to the line.
Tarrant, I thought, had contact on the initial one.
Seemed like it, didn't it, Sean?
And I thought he should have been at the free throw line. Coleman able to corral it, though, and he brings it back in. We got a 3-point game. Arkansas in the lead.
Let's go to the studio and check in with Carl Ravitch. Carl, take it away.
Hi, Joe. Johnny, thank you very much. Studio update here. Possible upset of a top 25 team. DePaul, Aaron Simpson launching a three, 41-33. Lead to 5. There's still 15 and change. The game at Seton Hall. There's Big Bill Walton. He's chatting it up with Chess and Randall. ESPN 2 game, Arizona and Stanford. Meantime, on ESPN, from one Big Red to another, Shaun White getting set. X game starts in Aspen just a couple of minutes from now on ESPN.
We have a breakthrough. New Subway grilled chicken strips. They taste better and they are better. Premium cut, all white meat with no artificial preservatives or flavors. Try our new grilled chicken strips in the new Monterey Chicken Melt today. Subway, eat fresh.
He's made diamonds using peer pressure alone. He is the most interesting man in the world.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
If you're running a business, LegalZoom has your back. Over the last 10 years, we've helped over 1 million business owners get started. Visit us today for legal help you can count on to start and run your business. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
I am totally blind. And sometimes I struggle to sleep at night and stay awake during the day. This is called non-24, a circadian rhythm disorder that affects up to 70% of people who are totally blind.
Talk to your doctor about your symptoms and learn more by calling 844-824-2424 or visit your24info.com.
Don't let non-24 get in the way of your pursuit of happiness.
The best part about going to Walt Disney World just might be staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. From royal encounters to royal rooms. And pirates to paradise. The magic never has to stop. And now you can save up to 30% off a select Walt Disney World Resort Hotel room. Book your stay now and discover how close the magic can be.
6 ties, 8 lead changes between Arkansas and Alabama here tonight. As Justin Coleman at the line. So there's a frenzied pace to Arkansas's liking, but then a turnover and the foul. And Coleman able to bring the Tide within 1.
And Coleman was the 5A Player of the Year last year in Alabama, rated 75th overall by ESPN's Top 100. A highly anticipated recruit that's playing well here on the road.
All 8 of his points coming here in the second half. He's been a real spark for the Tide.
That is his high overall in SEC play, and you see the numbers in transition. Those are low numbers for Arkansas. Just 9 points in transition, and they're second in the SEC, averaging over 18 points per game.
Landis Harris will earn a trip to the stripe. Third foul on Randolph.
Harris was absolutely huge in that game in Athens, Georgia.
15 points, right?
Arkansas won on the road, and a lot of that came in the second half in pivotal moments of that game. And you really thought, okay, you know, last year he was a main part of their offense coming off the bench, where the Razorbacks had 40% of their points coming off the bench last season. But since that point in time, just shooting 20% from the field. They started him tonight to try to get him a spark, and it really hasn't sparked him all that much.
Yeah, Mike Anderson was quick to detail that to us today, thinking that it could have an impact.
No, when you think about his experience as a senior and hoping that it would ignite some of that offense and some of that swagger that we saw in Athens.
Here's Hale, good look that time to Kessings, and it was denied by Harris, and it won't drop again.
Well, that'll ignite Harris. Let's see if it bleeds over to this end of the floor.
Strong to the rim, and it does, Farnham.
What a great job defensively, rotating over for Harris, and this crowd that's been quiet for a majority night on their feet.
Good energy from Harris, and a 5-point lead for the Hogs. 9-2 Arkansas run. And Hale can't solve it. It'll stay with Alabama.
One exchange from end to end for Harris though the last time down.
Just when we were mentioning how Mike Anderson wanted him to play a role tonight. And Tarrant, much needed from Ricky Tarrant. their second leading scorer on the year. And for Tarrant, that's now 12 points tonight.
Zone defense now for Alabama, changing up their look against Arkansas.
Nice bounce pass, and Harris couldn't get it to drop. But he got a nice feed that time from Beard, and another good effort from Harris.
Watch him rotating over from the help side position. Looked like it was a surefire, too, and I think the block even disrupted him on the second shot attempt. Then he gets the ball in transition, immediately looks up, sees two bodies in front of him, decides he's going to try to split him, and able to finish off the glass. Nice job by Harris.
All right, now the officials taking time, I believe, as I think they spotted some blood on him, so the trainer will come over to clean that up. We remind you that Sean Farnham has been talking up Super Pipe all day long and wants you to watch ESPN at 9 Eastern for the X Games Aspen. Sean White in action tonight, Farnham.
He returns to action for the half pipe, first time since Sochi with a disappointing finish in the Olympics. But the cool thing is ESPN is using a drone. It's the first time a network has ever used a drone in a live sporting event. They had to work with the FAA to get approval to use the drone in Aspen.
I think you and I were reading conflicting drone articles today when you were doing your research on X Games.
I was, but you know, the one thing I do know this, though, you're a big fan of Dara Howe, 25-year-old who won gold in Sochi in the ski slope style. Just like her, you often do the switch cork 720 with the high safety grip.
I don't go for the 720 any longer.
Oh,
yep.
You
Not
used to,
with the
though.
hamstring issue.
Oh, it's going to be a great X Games. And Dara Howe, that is on Saturday. You have to see her. It was a memorable run in Sochi. If she pulls it off once again, she'll get her first gold in the Winter X Games.
You've sold me. You get that on one TV at the hotel bar. You get that Big Ten matchup on the other. I'm in.
I just want to see a drone flying around in a live sporting event.
We are drone free here at Bud Walton Arena, but we've got a good one coming down the stretch here. Coach Grant.
Not a surprise to see a tight game in the SEC this year.
Talked about it can be fragile when you catch some of the losses that they've had. Time to toughen up here on the road against a hungry Arkansas team trying to bounce back. That helps plenty. Justin Coleman again.
They've got to close out with a better sense of urgency. They are allowing him to get into a rhythm and step right into a shot.
Kingsley, the putback, gets the whistle.
Smart foul. Smart foul that deep underneath. Kingsley, not a terrible free throw shooter, but far less efficient than he would have been from that distance. See the closeout late. You've got to be able to get there, make contact with the screen, or the screener, and then show out to the shooter. And Coleman has been the shooter.
Cooper tagged with his second. Boy, has Coleman been the shooter.
Now, this young freshman showing up here in the second half. We said it was going to have to be somebody other than Cooper. You can't just rely on one player to win on the road. And a nice job here in the second half for Coleman, but the lead back up to 3 after Kingsley makes both.
He has 11 on a night when Levi Randolph has 2. Cooper got tied up for a moment there, and it's going to be possession. It'll be with Alabama.
Now, Cooper forced the issue there, should have swung it immediately to Coleman and then just follow that ball and set the on-ball screen and see if Arkansas would make the adjustment defensively.
And from the corner, a three-pointer for Ricky Tarrant, and we're tied up yet again.
A majority of the damage done in the second half for Alabama has been from beyond the three-point arc. They are 6 of 10 here in the second half.
Kingsley, baseline. Good response from Moses Kingsley. He's had his moments here in the second half.
The pressure not disrupting Alabama as much as it did in the first half.
Well, 6 of Kingsley's points have come here in this second half. Let's watch for Coleman here on this possession again. We got a big night of hoops still ahead. Looking forward to that. Maryland, Indiana. On the U, Arizona, Stanford will follow us.
A big one out west. Late night hoops. Gonzaga and St. Mary's, both teams undefeated. Could be the biggest test all season long for the Zags.
Don't
and the WCC.
get ahead of yourself. Look at this score. This finish we got coming up, Farnham. Stay with us.
Right now at Burger King, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. No, wait, is that really right?
Yep, it says it right there. $1.49, 10 nuggets, limited time only.
All right. They're crispy and golden on the outside, made with premium white meat on the inside. Get more your way, only at Burger King.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Saturday.
When they play like this, there's nobody in America can beat them.
The Wildcats' pursuit of perfection.
Man, way up above the rim.
Goes through the upset-minded Gamecocks. Then,
socked off the glass and in.
Chapel Hill's Mr. Clutch.
You don't win without Pete.
Leads the Heels against the Knowles. Kentucky, South Carolina at noon. Then Florida State faces 15th-ranked North Carolina. Saturday on ESPN. The home court of college hoops.
Congratulations, you're down with Crestor.
Yes! When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Crestor lowers bad cholesterol up to 55%. Crestor is not for people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Call your doctor if you have muscle pain or weakness, feel unusually tired, have loss of appetite, upper belly pain, dark urine, or yellowing of skin or eyes. These could be signs of serious side effects.
I'm down with Crestor.
Make your move. Ask your doctor about Crestor.
While we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X Original Treatment repels rain, sleet, and snow. Rain-X wiper blades clear the windshield without streaking. Together, they give you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X, outsmart the elements.
2-point lead for Arkansas, under 8 to play. Adjectives I would use to describe your reaction to the Reese's perfect play. Flat out silly. Get after it.
Unbelievable action on the weak side. And as you watch it, you can see him sneak across, elevate up over the top. And that's a good way to get on SportsCenter. Everybody in the shot, go ahead. Just realizing you're going to be mentioned tonight. Unbelievable performance by Qualls overall, but his ability to elevate and finish over the top, as strong as anybody. The numbers speak for themselves. Offensive rebounds plus 10 for Arkansas, plus 11 in points and second chance points. Alabama, as I said off the top that they would sacrifice the opportunities to get second chance points in order to get back and try to disrupt Arkansas defensively. They've done a good job of that. In fact, Arkansas second in the SEC. Came into this one shooting just about 47% from the floor. Tonight, just 38%.
Look at Ricky Tarrant's second half. Add that in with Justin Coleman, and you understand why they're in this position. There's Portis now in the post. They bring the help defense over. And they swing it out. Creates an opportunity for Madden.
Remember, Madden got pulled out and went to the bench after he was kind of rushing some of his shot attempts. That one, he had his feet set, and he was ready to go on the catch. And an excellent job by Portis out of the double team to find the open man.
Madden's first field goal of this second half. Here's Cooper spinning towards the lane, and getting a hand in that time was Beard. And then Cooper fouls him.
When you bring the double team, you're going to create an opportunity for a long run out. You got to pick and choose who you're going to guard. And that time, Tarrant followed the cutter into the lane. It's a smart move. You don't want to give up the easy two. But it was Madden who towed the line and knocked it down.
1-1 from the line now for Beard. He's the #1 prospect coming out of the state of Arkansas a year ago.
Now, at times he has struggled from the free throw line, just 2 for 6 in the last couple of games.
It happened against Tennessee. 5 seconds left. He was fouled shooting a 3, had a chance to tie it, and missed the first 2.
That one rattled around, took every square inch of the rim.
Look at Portis. Look at Portis get to work that time. Oh, Qualls went up big, but Cooper went up and met him.
What a great angle, too, to show you Portis on the block. Excellent job by our crew here in Arkansas to show you that perspective. Stepping into the free throw line, you've got to initiate contact.
It's Cooper's 4th. Foul for Alabama.
Watch this angle. You try to push your body into him, but you got to elevate up. And Keston's kind of stood up and released. And when he did that, it allowed Portis to grab the rebound and then create the opportunity for Qualls.
Pushes the lead to 7.
And I thought before the start of the season, and you and I were talking about it, that Arkansas has the talent and the makeup to be the second best team in the SEC this year.
The SEC needs an Arkansas or an LSU to play and act like it at this time. And once again, the pressure getting to Riley Norris. Will take a break with the Hogs up 7 with 7:08 to play.
Right now at Fridays, get an entree and an adult beverage together under 550 calories. Dine and drink, just $10. See, you can keep that resolution. Happy Friday.
There are no accidental champions. You can't hope your way to victory. And titles aren't won at the end of the season. They're won in the off-season. Northwestern Mutual Financial Advisors know that when you have a game plan and the discipline to work for it every day, you cannot lose. You will not lose. Start your financial planning with Northwestern Mutual and start your financial success. You and Northwestern Mutual. Stronger together.
Honey, you can't be so careless.
Okay.
This is our orange money. This is what we're setting aside for our retirement.
Those are your jeans.
How much orange money will you need in retirement? Find out now at Voya.com.
Don't settle for 4G LTE coverage that's smaller or less reliable when only one network is America's largest and most reliable 4G LTE network. Verizon. With XLTE, our 4G LTE bandwidth has doubled in over 400 cities. And now, save without settling. Get 2 lines with 10 gigabytes of data for just $110. Or 4 lines for just $140. And get a $150 bill credit for each smartphone you switch. Hurry. Offers end January 31st. Only on Verizon.
Mentioned how Vandy was staying around with Kentucky. We'll see if South Carolina can fare well against the #1 team in the country. It's the Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. That gets going at noon, and then Florida State, North Carolina at 2 o'clock Eastern. Speaking of Kentucky, to continue the conversation of where the SEC is right now. You say, hey, listen, more competitive underneath Kentucky, but the conference could use the teams that are supposed to be that next tier to rise up.
Yeah, you have to have some separation. It is a logjam right now as you look at those standings. And in particular, I think Georgia's the team to watch. They defend the ball so well. They're very balanced in their scoring approach. Mark Fox has done an outstanding job with the Bulldogs. I think Arkansas, Alabama, and LSU, the collection of that group has to start separating themselves. Still a lot of time here to go in what has been a very competitive game. A 7-point lead for Arkansas right now. And both these two teams coming off of back-to-back losses. Neither one of them obviously wants to drop 3 in a row. For Alabama to win on the road at Arkansas would be a huge win. Not just for this team, but for Coach Grant and getting the mindset of this team to change as far as their ability to compete away from home. And for Arkansas, they need to get back to what they do best, and that's protecting their home court.
Arkansas lost at Tennessee, and we told you about the rare home loss. Here at home against Ole Miss, gave up 96 points to Ole Miss, and Bama just got a taste of Kentucky. A 70-48 beat down in Tuscaloosa.
You mentioned North Carolina. They're number 1 in the country in offensive rebound percentage. Number 2, the Kentucky Wildcats.
Norris got that shot fake, but couldn't get the shot to drop. Ball's flashing, driving, and then got his own rebound, but it ends up in the hands of Justin Coleman. And he had contact from Ja'Cory Williams as he was coming up the court.
And a nice job that time by Coleman, a little veteran savvy for the young freshman guard. As Williams was running up the floor, Coleman cut him off and kind of stopped his dribble, and Williams just ran right over him.
Coleman at the line as Arkansas was in the midst of a 10-4 run.
And that's when you got to manufacture points sometimes. Take him any way you get him. What a game for Coleman.
Freshman so relaxed. From Birmingham. So many around this program feel that he is going to be a tremendous player for the Tide as he continues to develop. Get a good glimpse of it here in this second half in Fayetteville.
Well, the other thing he does is he takes control of the ball. He doesn't turn it over. Just 2 turnovers in the last 5 games coming into tonight.
Portis lost control as he was fouled. As that's Taylor's 5th. So we will say goodbye to him.
Portis has a great ability to impact the game, even when he hasn't had his normal shot attempts. 9 rebounds, 6 points, and able to draw the contact and get the 5th foul on Jimmy Taylor.
Fouls out with 4 points on the night. Kessins will check in. You're not going to see the stat sheet really pop on Portis, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't play a big role, as we've seen moments with him in this second half of playing smart basketball, whether it's distributing it, getting it to the outside.
He's part of that,
making the move when he can.
He's part of that midseason Wooden watch list, and deservedly so for his play.
Came in averaging 18.3. 3 straight double-doubles coming into tonight.
The one area he's improved upon has been his base. He is much stronger, doesn't get pushed off the block quite as easily as he did a season ago. And he's going to probably end up with a double-double here in this one with still 6 minutes left to go.
And it continues for Justin Coleman.
Coleman hit the shot, but Durant did an unbelievable job setting the table.
15 points for Coleman. Good look to Williams. As they will reset. Here's Portis now against Kessins. It was a tough angle that he took. Close this out to 5, and it rattles in again. Can you believe how hot Coleman has been in this second half?
Everything that Cooper was in the first half, Coleman has been in the second half. A career high for him with 18.
Williams against Norris, and Portis wraps around and draws the foul.
It's been the Coleman show here in the second half for Alabama. Watch this, though. The dribble penetration. Great screen up top. The defense has to collapse and pinch in. Forces the long run out. Coleman knocks it down from 3. And then in transition, how smooth, the savvy that he has to settle it down and elevate up over the top.
5 of 6 threes for Coleman in this half. 18 points to keep Alabama right there with Arkansas.
Again, you mentioned those numbers. Everything coming in the second half for Coleman. 18 points, just pacing the offense for Alabama.
Portis misses again.
An opportunity to tie or take the lead on this possession for Alabama. They brought the double on Coleman early.
You have to honor it. Qualls is staying with him. And Tarrant goes to the hole. And he's limping coming up the court.
And they're lucky.
We got a tie game.
Lucky to call a timeout, because I wouldn't have called the timeout there if I was Coach Anderson, because Tarrant was limping. You might have been able to attack him and isolate him and get an easy look, but a nice drive down the middle by Tarrant. We showed you how he's able to kick to the open shooter. This time he decides he's going to go after it his own. And his leg just kind of jarred a little bit. That right leg jarred down a little bit as he came down, but he made the tough two. And we are tied up at 66.
It's been an interesting game, because there have been those moments where you get the sense that Arkansas has the momentum, or Arkansas has things in control, but they never push it past that threshold.
And it goes back down to the defense of Alabama. I mean, their defense has been very strong in the second half. They have really limited, as we pointed out earlier in this half, the transition points for Arkansas.
Walls finds his spot.
He's just so good at utilizing the shot fake, staying under control, getting to his spot on the floor, not dribble penetrating into traffic where he can be off balance and not finish.
I know the dunks are going to get everybody's attention, but he's been such a versatile scorer. Tarrant couldn't connect that time. And Madden got pushed in the back as he was trying to corral it.
And Justin Coleman just walked over to Tarrant and said, "You got that shot, keep going." And this is an Alabama team that's playing with confidence at the offensive end of the floor. The pressure is no longer bothering him like it did in the first half.
And Cooper fouls out.
All 15 of Cooper's points came in the first half. It was a quiet second half for him, but his teammates have been picking up the pace. They wouldn't have been in the game if he didn't perform the way that he did in the first half.
He kept him in it, especially after that opening surge by Arkansas. Points for Madden now as he tries to push it to a 4-point lead. Cooper and Taylor on the bench fouled out. And Tarrant and Coleman leading the way for Alabama. And they're going to need them here in these final 4 minutes. They have 34, they're 36 in the second half.
Notice how the pressure's dropping back to midcourt right now. They're getting beat off of it, so they don't want to give up anything easy.
Coleman driving baseline. And the whistle comes in that time as they cut off that angle.
Does he play like a freshman?
Not at all. Confident and in control. And what a start tonight for the Tide.
Right now at Burger King, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. No, wait, is that really right?
Yep, it says it right there. $1.49, 10 nuggets, limited time only.
All right. They're crispy and golden on the outside, made with premium white meat on the inside. Get more your way, only at Burger King.
Your mom's got your back. Your friends have your back. Your dog's definitely got your back. But who's got your back when you need legal help? We do. We're LegalZoom. And over the last 10 years, we've helped millions of people protect their families and run their businesses. We have the right people on hand to answer your questions, backed by a trusted network of attorneys. So visit us today for legal help you can count on. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Okay, perfect.
Crispy M&Ms are back.
What are you doing?
You said to tell our fans crispy M&Ms are back.
Not those fans.
Did you mean this fan?
No.
What about that one? There's a fan in the break room. Oh,
so good, they're back.
Welcome to X Games Aspen.
Hey, Mom.
This crowd is going crazy.
Scoreboard reads Arkansas by 4 here with under 4 to play. The numbers that have us arriving there, Arkansas's rebounding margin, a 40 to 25 edge, and Bama's threes in the second half, where they are 8 of 13.
You look at second chance points, 17 offensive rebounds for Arkansas that has led to 16 second chance points.
A little thin there.
Versus just 3 for Alabama.
Yep.
I mean, so just to
You
start
get all those
difference
extra
right there.
opportunities, and you're going to cash in.
But what's the great equalizer in college basketball? The ability to knock shots down from beyond the arc. And that's where Alabama
if you're going to hit
has
the
been.
long ball, you're going to stay with anybody.
62% so far here in the second half from beyond the arc. The 11 made threes are a season high for Alabama.
11 of 20 on the game, 8 of 13 in the second half. And this has been the guy that has sparked that. Justin Coleman at the line.
What a game.
To say the least. 20 points for the freshman.
And now it's Alabama applying the pressure to Arkansas.
Bobby Portis matched up with Kessens. Just couldn't get it to go that time with the left hand. Had the angle, had the space. Levi Randolph has been quiet offensively all night long.
And he's got to be aggressive. He's looking to pass the ball. Look to attack.
Here he goes. And it works.
Well, the whole right-hand side of the floor was vacant. A rip-through drive, a great job utilizing the shot fake. He needs to start asserting himself. With Cooper on the bench, they need another guy to step up to score.
So Randolph ties it up here. Just over 3 minutes to play. Harris. Good job that time. Landis Harris. Another one of these players in this game who's had the second half the way he wants it. Coleman off the mark that time. But Tarrant is fouled as we get the block call. And it appears he's incredulous to that.
Nice job by Tarrant. We mentioned not a lot of second chance opportunities. And he dipped his shoulder in. The official deemed it a collision coming towards each other. Both players moving in the same direction, which is why it goes against the defense. Otherwise, it probably would have been an offensive foul.
2 here is Tarrant.
This will be the 8th free throw for Tarrant. Remember what I told you in the first half? They're 5-0 when he's attempted 8 or more free throws in a game this season.
See
He's
if
still
that
trailed
holds
by
up.
1.
Beard. And the foul. He was upset at one end. He took control of matters on the other.
A great strength by Beard. Out in transition, the throw ahead by Qualls. Immediately looks to attack. Off balance, finishes with the left. A nice job by Beard. And that degree of difficulty very high on that shot. Feet going one direction, shoulders and head going in the opposite direction.
Aaron picked up his third there.
And the 30-second timeout.
Gives us a chance to go to the studio and check in with Carl.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. This one's been close all night, DePaul and Seton Hall. Watch Mobley with the finish. And as a result, Seton Hall beginning to pull away from DePaul. They're up by 3, but there's still 4 minutes to go in that game. And Ohio State over Northwestern. D'Angelo Russell exploded in that game. Career high, 33 points. The Cats and the Cardinal coming up.
Arkansas breaking the huddle with head coach Mike Anderson, who said, you know, we're going to find out where we are mentally tonight. He said, I'm not getting a sense of a cause for panic with the 2 straight losses, the home loss. I think we're okay.
You'd feel different, though, if they dropped 2 consecutive games at home.
Oh, no doubt about that.
See if Alabama has an answer. The answer in the second half has been Coleman and Tarrant. An uncertainty in the offensive set. Anthony Grant calls the timeout from the sideline. That's like a defensive coordinator when he realizes that the offense is lined up in a situation they can't stop in football. Anthony Grant just did that from the sideline, saying, you know what, I don't like the way this possession looks. We need to get a timeout right now.
1 remains for Alabama.
And that could be pivotal down the stretch of this game.
We've had some tough losses this year, Sean. One on the road against Wichita State. This could have been a huge win for both the program and the conference. Up by 11 with just under 6 to play. There's less than 12 seconds remaining when the Shockers took the lead. And then Rodney Cooper had one last chance. The 3 wouldn't fall. And they lost a heartbreaker to Wichita State 53 to 52. Then against South Carolina on January 13th. Another tough one after a big comeback. 68-66 was that final. Skip pass over to Hale, rotating around Coleman. Terrence. Follow tip, won't drop. Rebound, Randolph, yes.
A nice job, ball reversal. They had a wide open look from the outside. The spacing allowed them to create the seam to get that second chance opportunity.
So a well-managed timeout, getting that possession, settling the offense. Now Portis against Kessins. There's a flat release from the big man. So a chance to tie or take the lead here with under 90 seconds to play. Here's Hale on the drive as he gives, and they're going to call it the other way.
They're just trying to do too much. If you're going to kick the ball out, just settle it down, jump stop, and deliver a crisp pass to the corner. You miss an opportunity. Hale frustrated as he goes to the bench.
It's a major missed opportunity.
You got to keep your head in the game, though. It feels like this possession is a must stop for Alabama.
A potential put away for Arkansas. Madden weaves his way through and puts it down and will head to the stripe.
Instead of a must stop, it's a must have for Arkansas, and able to finish is Madden. Now, you should never be allowed to dribble the ball just straight up the floor and just blow by, but that's exactly what happened. The defense, Coleman bails him out a little bit, turns his shoulder, and Coleman's looking for the flex cam.
Best from the stripe in the SEC. And a 15-point evening for Rashad Madden. And a 5-point margin as we're under a minute to play here in Fayetteville. Dangerous, went for it, and Harris fouled Tarrant. And Harris fouls out.
And that'll send Tarrant to the free throw line, and it stops the clock. Tarrant 6 of 8 at the free throw line in the game.
Harris leaves with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Had a nice transition moment, the block on one end, the score on the other. The clock stopped with 56 seconds, and Alabama chance to get some free points without that clock running.
And even more so, how about a chance to meet on the sideline without having to call a timeout? You mentioned it a couple minutes ago. Only one timeout remains, so on the foul out, Anthony Grant got his team over there in a hurry and went through a series of situations that might occur in the final 56 seconds.
Averaging just over 12 points. And now looking for 21. Pressure. And Qualls able to break it. Babb got it ahead that time to Beard.
Good decision by Arkansas to pull it out. You don't need to foul, obviously, but you do need to get a stop if you're Alabama.
Timeout used by Mike Anderson and the Hogs. Do so with 11 remaining on the shot clock. Three-point game.
What a great contest it has been, and Coach Anderson got rid of his jacket early tonight. And I really think that overall in this game, there's positives for both teams. I think if you look at Justin Coleman's performance, you're saying that's a huge lift for Anthony Grant.
His second half was superb.
But this is a must-win game at home for Mike Anderson. You can't afford to lose back-to-back games, and the expectations of the program and this team this year is to finish in the top half of this conference. Second, third place, and get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we talked about both teams needing the win. Of course, the home loss for Arkansas the last time out. It's not who they are.
Well, Arkansas hasn't been to the Sweet 16 in a real long time. 1996. They'd like to get back there again. And this team has the talent to do it.
Expectations. Shot clock under 5. Here's the big man.
That's a travel.
Pays off.
No,
Did
it's
he?
a travel.
Turns it over.
That was a travel on the baseline on the hook and spin. An excellent call on the baseline.
Bobby Portis, their go-to guy, typically so reliable. Did he step on the line here making that move?
Yes, he did.
Seven seconds. Coleman. Hale for the tie. Gets it down low. Kessins drops it. He's going to go to the line. Can you believe that? 2.3 seconds left. And Kessins will go to the line for a chance to tie this.
Why do you foul in that situation? You're up by 3. The ball's underneath. Give him the 2 and take the ball out of bounds. It's 2 seconds left to go on the clock. It was poor recognition by Alabama, and you actually end up bailing them out and giving them an opportunity.
And we are tied up. Kessens, the 3-point play with 2.3 left.
What a mental breakdown by Arkansas in that situation. You're up by 3. Don't foul. Give them the 2. The game's over. You go home. You got the win. Now the key here for Anthony Grant. He's got to get his team to make sure you have no passes up over the top. You want everybody catching the ball in front of you, and you don't want any momentum going towards their basket. One of the things that might be an option for them is to get a double staggered screen and then run somebody off and try to get that body to rub off and get to the other end of the floor. You also obviously don't want to foul. Both teams are in the double bonus, so you have to pressure but be clean in your defense if you're Anthony Grant.
Unlike what we just saw moments ago. Michael Kessens, who earlier tonight came down so hard on his left knee. Didn't even know if we were going to see him again the way he went down early in this game.
And that was the play right there. You see him fall down that left knee, then Taylor fell on top of him. That's how his night started. This is the one that's going to extend it. And again, look at the game clock. You're up by 3. Don't foul. Don't foul. Nice job by Kessens. Remember, Arkansas can run the baseline here. It is a made shot timeout.
So here we go. Both teams desperate for a bounce-back win. And time again, Alabama has climbed back into it right up until the last moments of Kessens with the 3-point play as Portis fouled him. 2.3 remain. Arkansas, can they pull it off?
They're moving everybody back.
Madden will inbound.
Again, be careful not to foul in this situation.
He's going to have a shot here, Kessens.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds.
He stepped out. So it's going to be 0.6 left, but he made a good move on the ball.
And they're just going to throw it to the rim. And if I'm Michael Qualls, I just go to the rim.
Qualls. 10 ties, 8 lead changes, and now overtime awaits here in Fayetteville.
How about the fight and the resiliency of Alabama to come in here to Bud Walton and scratch and claw their way through the entire second half and have a mental lapse by Arkansas.
Hit the free throw with just over 2 seconds remaining to tie this game.
We thought coming into this game that this could be a great game between two teams that are really close, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. There's just more time to be had, more fun to be had here at Bud Walton tonight.
I'm up for it. Arkansas had an overtime loss earlier this season against Clemson. Clemson rallied from 6 points down in the final minute of that game. Beard. Strong move. Tap in from Qualls, won't go.
This is good basketball for both these two teams. Guys stepping up, elevating their games, understanding the importance of this contest. They're going to continue to bring the double against Coleman, and I think it's the right move.
You have to, Sean.
The way he's performed in the second half.
Levi Randolph.
This will be a good time for him to assert himself.
Team captain, experienced leader of this group, who hasn't shown much tonight, but at the right time, it'll matter, and this is that time. Walls makes that decision, and he got hit.
Michael Qualls, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 8 of 13 shooting. Will earn this trip to the free throw line. 4 of 6 so far in the game, but you know, no surprise, Alabama takes the lead. And who does Mike Anderson want to get the ball in the hands of? It's Michael Qualls tonight. And this is one of the things with Arkansas that they've been really working on, is feeding the hot hand. Earlier this year, they took a loss, and they really felt like they got away from Bobby Portis. It was that Clemson loss that you were talking about. Portis was playing the hot hand, and they went away from him. Tonight, it's been Qualls. Keep feeding the hot hand and let him go.
4-7 from the line tonight. Get them set. There's Hale through the lane, and that was rejected by Bobby Portis. Madden. And Arkansas will retake the lead. It's under 4 to play in overtime. Randolph going to test Madden through the lane.
He's got the C on his chest that stands for captain. He's playing like it here in overtime. 4 points already in overtime.
Stepping up at the right time. We just discussed it. Such is the case with Levi Randolph. There's Qualls now matched up with Tarrant. Ball came loose, but it went into the hands of Williams, who glided in.
A great job by Coleman, raking down on the ball, knocking it away. And just popped out to the wrong person if you're an Alabama Crimson Tide fan.
And the whistle came in as Coleman was on the dribble. It's Portis with his second.
You look at Coleman's line tonight. Oh, just 20 points, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. 3 steals to go along with a couple of assists.
Breakout performance, Sean, in his freshman year. At that time of the year when the games get tough in the midst of conference play, and they're battled for each and every night.
And it's really about the journey as a freshman. Sometimes you have freshmen that come in right away. They get off like a house on fire. And then all of a sudden they hit that freshman wall. For Coleman, it's been a build-up process. And tonight has been the breakout.
Already 5 lead changes in overtime. Kind of sums up the night, doesn't it? Madden. And Tarrant went for that long rebound, but instead it's Qualls. Boy, he can get up so fast.
Well, it's not just getting up quick. It's having a nose for the ball. I mean, he just finds the basketball, working again from the weak side all the way over to the strong side, not giving up on the play.
And it just rattled out. He comes from out of nowhere, as we saw in that spectacular highlight dunk he had in the first half. That's the first. 4 fouls on Levi Randolph.
Remember, it was Rodney Cooper who had the huge first half, 15 points. He's been fouled out for a while now, sitting on the bench.
We're going to stay tied at 84.
This is fun, though.
Sure is. That was sloppy. Look out. Boy, this is going to get silly, Farnham. Lock it up. I mean, lock it up, Mr. Qualls. Just stop it. Come on now, Farnham.
I think they're calling timeout just so we can show it one more time.
Please do.
Are you kidding me? He's not going to make the top 10 just once. He's going to make it twice. What a great job defensively. It was a lazy pass, and Qualls played it absolutely beautiful. And in the open floor, there is not a better finisher in college basketball.
What did you say about this being fun? 86-84. Mr. Qualls, big time.
His Twitter handle is Mr. Walking on Air. He's been doing a lot of that tonight.
How will the Tide respond? Kessens, and he does it again. Michael Kessens, who sent us to overtime with his efforts. Now tied at 86. Here he is again. Follows his own right back up. Are you kidding me? 28 points with extraordinary athleticism from Michael Qualls. That ties his career high. Randolph tracks down the rebound. Much needed for Bama. Nearly travels. Coming up on a minute to play here. Tide trail by 2. Michael Qualls has been sensational, but the Tide has been gritty. Coleman, that was batted away.
In overtime, when you need a player to make a play, you need some energy. Qualls plays the passing lane, and then it just comes Mr. Walking on our takeoff time with a little showmanship for Michael Qualls. Watch the way he just anticipates, and you know he does it better than anyone else. Oh. Then a couple of possessions later, he misses the shot. He stays with it. He anticipates his own miss, and he's able to finish acrobatically in air. There's no one better in college basketball when their feet are off the ground.
What are you looking for from Bama here, Farnham?
Well, for Alabama, I think you need to get something going towards the basket. Get to the foul line. I think that's your best opportunity right now. Either that or force the defense to collapse and look for Coleman or Durant on the outside from beyond the arc. The three-point shot has been great tonight for Alabama.
Well, it feels like every time they've needed it, it's been delivered upon, hasn't it? Time and time again.
What a fun game, though. You and I just getting to enjoy college basketball. You know, people talk about how the scoring of the game is down. We got an 88 to 86 game here. There's no low-scoring affair when you walk into Bud Walton.
Now listen, they're fast and furious. They score 82 a game. But Bama leads the SEC in scoring defense. And for much of this game, there was a pace being set by Bama that trended in that direction. But how we've arrived here at 88-86 with a second half to remember and overtime filled with highlights.
55.8 seconds left to go. This is my first trip to Fayetteville, Arkansas. First time inside Bud Walton. Not the first time, obviously, seeing this Arkansas Razorback team. Qualls 6 of the Hogs, 10 in overtime.
And in case you're just joining us, let's give you a sense of the type of night Michael Qualls has had.
His night has been off the chart. It started early in this game. Again, aggressive defense leads to a flush. I give this one about a 5. This one I actually liked a little bit more. Had a little bit more flair to it. I give it about a 6 or 7.
There's a 10 plus coming up here.
Yeah, that one worked. That was a 10. This one, with the flair, I'll give it a 9.5. That's a 9.5 because the takeoff point was so good. This is college basketball.
28-point night for Michael Qualls, but yet here we are with the Tide in position.
They're playing Thunderstruck, and Michael Qualls has brought the Thunder for Arkansas.
Terrence inbound. Levi Randolph against Qualls. Good move by Randolph, and he gets it to go himself. And a chance to take the lead. The senior captain for Bama.
Every single time Alabama has needed to make a basket, they've been able to do it. And it's been a collection of players throughout. Randolph, 6 of his 12, though, have come in overtime. And what a strong, aggressive move. You asked me what they would do out of the timeout. I thought they would be aggressive. I thought they would attack to try to get to the free throw line.
And he misses the free throw.
I'll go another 5 if you want.
I'm in. Sign me up. Here's Portis against Kessens. He's going to opt out of that, and Matt will reset. Let's see this time what he does. Tried to duck under that time. Long tap out goes, and now Qualls as he gives to Williams. And the whistle came in as Williams took that strong move to the hole. And that'll be the end of Michael Kessen's night.
Well, if there's a player you wanted to put at the free throw line, it would be Williams. Although he's 2 for 2 tonight, his season average, 49%.
Kessen's leads with 7 points, but the 3 of them the biggest. It got us to overtime with 2.3 seconds remaining in regulation when he was fouled underneath.
Well, the problem becomes, too, as we start crossing off names. Jimmy Taylor, gone. Kessen's now gone. Your starting front court is out of the game. You add in Rodney Cooper. The numbers are not there for Alabama. If this goes another 5, they could be in big trouble. You see Randolph with 4.
War of attrition would get the best of them at that point.
Big moment, big free throws here for Williams.
And Shakori, in very relaxed fashion, puts it in. And he's playing against Bama, and that's big for him. He's from Birmingham. You talked about the struggles from the free throw line.
And now 3 for 3 on the night, though.
49% shooter on the year, but perfect so far tonight. Waiting for that ball. That was dangerous. And it was a turnover. As Riley Norris, the freshman, couldn't keep his footing and possession of the ball. And now with 21.9, Arkansas, with that 1-point lead, is in great position.
A good timeout here by Anthony Grant, but just a missed opportunity. I mean, there's no question that's a travel. You've got to be on balance. You have a missed free throw in this type of game. In that moment, all you've got to do is jump stop and come on balance.
89-88, 21.9 remaining. Let's check in with Carl again.
All right, Joe, thanks. Back to you in just 1 second, but it is all over DePaul and Seton Hall. Derek Wood will end up hitting that shot, and down goes the Pirates, 64-60. DePaul a win on the road to knock off the 24th-ranked team in the country. 7th-ranked team in the country underway. You'll see that game as soon as ours is over. They're about midway through the first with Arizona up by 5. Joe, back to you guys.
Joe and Sean with you for a thriller from Fayetteville. 14 ties, 14 lead changes, 6 lead changes alone in overtime. The most recent coming by way of the free throw shot by Shakori Williams. But go figure, even arriving here. This was the last possession by Alabama. Kessen's underneath. They were down by 3, and he was fouled and hit the free throw. And then Michael Qualls in overtime, Sean.
Plays the passing lane, finishes with power, follows up his miss, anticipates it, gets it back on the glass before he comes back down. And then Randolph with a tough finish. And that one tied the game up at 88. But after a one made free throw and then a miss, you see this travel. And the stun look. There can't be any stun. Nothing stunned about it. You travel. Now you got to foul. You got to try to get the steal here, but if not, you got to foul and try to elongate this game. Williams is checked out. Yeah, foul.
Absolutely. And they will send Qualls to the line, looking to establish a new career high. And Randolph has fouled out now.
It's not the guy that you wanted to have to foul there in that situation with Randolph and what he's been able to do in overtime. The 6 of his 12 points came in overtime. He finishes with 12 points and 7 rebounds. But as we mentioned, the attrition for Alabama. Now 4 players in their starting 5 have fouled out of the game. And this is not an extremely deep Crimson Tide team. And Qualls has missed 4 free throws on the night.
6 of 10 from the line. 29 points. He's trying to make this a 3-point game.
Fitting that Michael Qualls would be at the free throw line to take it out to a 3-point game.
So here comes Bama's chance. Shannon Hale. And he does it! A tie game. 6 seconds remain. Madden puts it up. Wow! What a finish! Bobby Portis, the magic man, arrives just in time. The tip-in at zeros on the clock.
It was Bobby Portis headband night, and he's been quiet all night long, but in the right moment, at the right time, he got his hands on the ball, and I think this is going to count. The officials are going to look at it. Portis now with a double-double for his 4th consecutive game. It was his 13th rebound. He comes in, nobody puts a body on him.
He's going in the opposite direction and backs it in for the win. Look at Portis flying from the other side.
You know, you get caught watching the ball on the weak side, and that's exactly what happened in that moment.
A thundercloud over Fayetteville. It comes in the form of a rocking Bud Walton Arena as Bobby Portis caps an absolute